God is always with us when we are difficult. Ladies and friends, this life is not always easy. All of us have encountered challenges and difficulties that seem to be impossible to overcome. But today, I want to share with you an important thing. God is always with us when we are difficult. I want to start with an important question for you. When life becomes difficult, do you realize that God is always with you, ready to help and lead you to overcome? Let's reflect on this for a few seconds, because God's presence can change everything in our lives. 1. If you feel weak, God is your strength. The Lord is my shelter and strength, is a strong help in arduous. Psalm 46 verse 1. Sometimes you feel tired, feel like you have no strength to continue. But if you remember that God is your strength, then you will realize that even if you are weakest, He is always ready to help. There was a man I knew that it had been a very difficult time. He lost his job, life was not as expected, and everything seemed to be collapsed. But at those times, he came to God and prayed. He realized that if he put his faith in God, He would help him stand firm, overcome this challenge. Finally, he found a better job and learned valuable lessons throughout the journey. If you feel exhausted, do you remember God's only source of power? Think and write your answer in the comment section for the next 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you guys. 2. So you can find peace in difficulty? Father, don't let us fall into temptation, but save us from the evil. Matthew 6 verse 13. Sometimes, when faced with challenges, we can easily be tempted and lose peace in our hearts. But if you come to God in difficult times, you will find that He always helps you overcome those temptations and bring peace to your soul. A woman I knew had to face the grief when losing my loved one. But instead of immersed in suffering and surrender, she went to God and prayed. She realized that if she put her faith in Him, God would help her find peace in the darkest times. And it was that peace that helped her stand and overcome pain. So, if you feel insecure and unable to overcome temptation, do you remember that God is where you can find peace? I am here and eager to know your answer. 3. If you try to find God, everything will be given to you. Looking before the kingdom of God and His righteousness, everything will be given to you. Matthew 6 verse 33. Life may not always be easy, but if you believe in God's care and find Him in all circumstances, everything you need will be given to you. That is God's promise. A man I knew was once faced with a serious financial crisis. But instead of worrying or surrender, he came to God and prayed every day. He decided to continue working hard, living in accordance with the faith and the righteousness of the Lord. After a while, he not only overcome financial difficulties, but also received greater opportunities in life. If you put your faith in God and seek His righteousness, will you believe that He will give you everything you need? Do you believe that? Please comment, yes, I believe. 4. So can you see the purpose in challenges? Because I know that everything is good for those who love God. Romans 8 verse 28. Sometimes we feel disoriented, for some reason why we have to go through these difficulties. But if you believe in God's love and guidance, you will find that every challenge has a purpose, and in the end, you will grow more from there. A woman who has experienced an unhappy marriage and decided to divorce. She felt very miserable and wondered if her life still had a meaning. But during that difficult process, she came to God and prayed. Gradually, she realized that those challenges helped her better understand herself, and thanks to that, she found a new job she was really passionate about. The Lord used the difficulties to lead her to a new promising path. If you see the challenge as an opportunity to grow and realize the purpose of life, can you feel the guidance of God? Let's feel with me. 5. So if you know that God is always with you, can you be assured in every situation? Because I am with you every day until the end of the world. Matthew 28 verse 20. God is not only with you in difficult times, but He is always with you anytime, anywhere. If you remember that God never abandoned you, then you will always feel secure and strong in any situation. A man, after losing his relatives, felt he could not continue. But in times of seemingly impossible, he felt the presence of the Lord by his side. It was this consolation that helped him to stand and find hope in life. If you know that God is always with you, will you feel secure and strong enough to face any challenge? Let's shout in the long way. Yes, God in me. Ladies and gentlemen, God is always with you in the most difficult times. He is a solid shelter, the power that you can rely on when everything seems to collapse. Find God when you feel tired, weak, and scared. May He help, and He will never reject you. The last question I want you to ponder. Are you ready to trust and take refuge in God in every situation of life? Act today. Do not let the difficulties make you lost, but find the power and peace in the presence of God. Thank you for listening. Please click on the registration button to the right of the screen.